I'll first start off by a quick background, because as we know, part of the trading plan, the first thing you want to check is the economic calendar to see which reports are due out during the day before you start your trading day. But like I've told all of you before, it's good to, on the Monday, it's good for you to look throughout the whole week to see what's coming out for the rest of the week, because that could impact your trading for the week. And like we said on Monday and on the Tuesday session, we knew that we had this US unemployment report due out today, and we'd say that there was a chance all the markets could just trend sideways for the whole week. And due to that fact, we're going to be very cautious and very careful trading during the week, and only have one attempt a day at the market in view of this report coming out. And like we said, this report is a highly anticipated report. It's the US unemployment rate and the US non-farm payrolls. It comes out on the first Friday of every month, and it affects all markets. All financial markets are affected. The fixed income securities market, bonds, treasury bills, the stock market, the commodities market, the currency market, all currency pairs, all stock markets around the world. Every single market is affected by this report. Hence why it's highly anticipated, and hence why there's a high probability of the markets trending sideways, during the week leading up to the report, and definitely today leading up to the report. So we've kept out of the markets for the whole day. We're just going to now assess the market and see where we could possibly trade with the report coming out. Again, the reason why it's called non-farm payroll, again, because there's a huge farming community in America. There's a huge farming community. So when they calculate the unemployment and the payrolls, they exclude the farmers. So the farmers are excluded from the report, hence why it's called non-farm payrolls. It's just because the farmers are not included, non-farmers, so the farmers are not included. Okay, so now we know the report to be due out in about 6 minutes. We want to now see where we can trade. And again, as part of your chart analysis, the first thing you want to determine is the trend of the market. If we just go back a tiny bit, we can see the market was trending sideways around this point. Then it was downtrending there for a brief period, where you can see it was forming lower lows and lower highs. So it was downtrending there. Then of course, at this point, it stopped forming a lower low, because you can see the next low is higher than that. So that this downtrend stops there. And then you can see where it formed the high points there, but no further highs. So it wasn't going high or low. And you can see it started to begin to fall again there. So you can see that from this point on, this was the most recent high point, and that's the most recent low point. So we just quickly draw our lines. If you put your cursor in the body of that candlestick, the highest point of the week, looking at the data window. So let's do that. The high there is 1.18505. So you round that up to 1.1851. 1.1851. So that's the highest point. And then the lowest point is about there. The low there is 1.1808. Low. And again, this is why you want to give yourself enough time before the report comes out, so you can do all this without rushing and making mistakes. So we now know the market is, trending sideways around that point. And we can see clearly the first support, S1, is clearly within this sideways trend. And again, it's too close to the market. So you can see we want to avoid all this region in terms of our trading. So if the market falls, the only place to sell now is S2. And of course, we don't use S2 to trade. So at the moment, there are no sell opportunities. So if it goes up, the first point of entry is S1, but that's within the sideways trend. So the only point we can buy would be just above the pivot point, which is outside the sideways trend. And you can see the pivot point here is 1.18714. So it's not up to 5, so we'll leave it at 7.1. So we'll add 2 to that, that will be 1.872. So we're buying 2 pips above that. Again, check your volume, make sure your volume is at 0.05. If you're doing $500 or less, of course, if you're using more money, you go back to your money management of 2% of your capital per trade. But we're using 50p or 50 cents per pip because we're using a capital of £500, which is what I advise you all to do if you're using £500 of real money. So we're buying 2 pips above the pivot point. So that's 1.1872. So since we're buying 2 pips above at 1.18, we're buying at 1.872. Stop loss 20 pips below will be 1.1852. And the profit limit will be 60 pips above. That'll be 1.1932. Let me just get my calculator out quickly and make sure that's correct. Again, like I say, if you're using real money, you don't want to make mistakes. You want to be absolutely sure. So let's see. So 1.872 plus 60. That's short. That's correct. 1932. So there we are. Sorry, I made a mistake. The pivot point is 1.871. So 2 pips above, that'll be 1.873. 2 plus 1 is 3, sorry. So just move that up by one pip, 7.3. Stop loss would be 5.3. Profit would be 3.3. Okay, so we're all set. So like I say, if the market goes up, we're happy to buy just above the pivot point with a 20 pips stop loss and a 60 pips profit limit. If the market goes down once the report is announced, unfortunately at the moment we do not have an entry point to sell because the next entry point is S2, which we don't use to trade. So the report is going to be announced in a minute, and well, we are all set. So we know where we want to enter the market. If the report comes out and the market falls, unfortunately we'll miss that because we don't have a clear entry point. But if it goes up, we're happy to buy above the pivot point. Then we'll see what happens. Again, you can see why it's very important to get yourself ready just before the report. You don't want to be assessing the markets and trying to place your trades when the report is out. You know, that can get you flustered. It's good to, you know, take your time, prepare, and then let the market do what it wants to do. So it's now 1:30 London time, so the report has been announced. So we can now see the market, see how the market reacts. So you can see it seems to, but then again, you find that usually when these reports are announced, of course, the market has to decide whether they like the report or not. So you might find the first couple of minutes, it's just zigzagging, it's not making any movement, but you could then find after a couple of minutes, once they've decided they either like the report or they don't like it, then the market can then start to move. So we'll see. And again, this is the thing about trading. At this point, we don't know what the report says. But as a trader, you know it's either going to go sideways, go down, or go up. If it goes up, we know where we want to buy. If it goes down, like I said, unfortunately, at this point, there are no clear sell opportunities because the next point is S2, which we don't use to trade. Let's see what's happened to pound dollar. Oof, the pound dollar is also falling. Okay, any questions? If you have any questions, you can either send your questions through the chat box or send your question, or you can raise your hand up, sorry. You can either raise your hand or send your question through the chat box. Of course, the recording tool will be posted on the online platform, and we'll continue the conversation with the trade on the online platform. So we'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll end the session. But while we're waiting for a couple of minutes before we end the session, if you have any questions, like I say, send it through the chat box, or you can raise your hand up. Because again, that's the beauty of trading and having a trading plan. Because now that we've made a plan, you know, there's really nothing else for us to do. You know, you know where your entry points are, you know where you want to buy, you know where you want to sell, you've done your money management, you place your stop loss and profit limit. So there's nothing else to do, just let the market, it's the market that will decide what it wants to do. If the market keeps going down, well, that's it, you've missed it, that's life. You don't chase the market as a trader. If it goes up, you know the exact point where you want to buy. So if it doesn't get to the pivot point, you won't buy. If it gets there, you will buy, you've got your stop loss in place and all that. Please go through how you are changing the view on the platform. What you have to remember again, that the platform itself is a Microsoft application. So you can just click and drag them like you can do with any Microsoft application. So for example, if you want to compress the chart, obviously it's advisable to use a mouse. A mouse is much better to use in terms of controlling it instead of using the keyboard. This is vertical scale. If you just click and hold, and you can just drag it down with your mouse or drag it up with your mouse. So you can move it up and down with your mouse. You click, hold, and drag it. And then, of course, you've got this magnifying buttons at the top of your chart. So the plus is to make it big, and then the minus is to make it smaller. So that's how you can adjust the platform and change the view to suit what you want to see or to suit your view. Okay, so you can see the market has changed its mind, so it's moving the other way. So like I said, while the market is making up its mind, we have made up, well, I have made up my own mind. I shouldn't put words in your mouth. So I have made up my own mind where I'm going to buy. And like I said, there are currently no sell opportunities. So there are no sell opportunities. There's not much we can do unless the market forms a market support. But if it doesn't form a market support, there's really no sell opportunity at the moment because we can't use S2. Like we said earlier, we didn't use S1 because S1 was within the sideways trend, so that's why we avoided S1. So the only point we can buy is just above the pivot point. Okay. Any questions before we end and take the discussions onto the platform? Because like I said, now that we've decided where to buy and what to do, there's really nothing else we need to do. It's just for the market to make up its mind. Any questions before we end it? Oh, before I forget, let me bring this up quickly. Again, like you all know, my background is medicine, so I'm not very good with mental maths, and I like to keep things very, very simple. So I'm just going to refer to the spreadsheet. Let me bring up the spreadsheet. So like I said, what I advise you all is to, especially when you start trading with real money, to start with $500 or 500 pounds and use a risk of 50p or 50 cents per pip, and only risk $10 or 10 pounds per trade. But for the platform and for monitoring the trades we're doing together on Euro US dollar alone, I'm just assuming we're using a pip here. It just makes it simple. So I just wanted to quickly explain that. So for example, on the 4th of August, we lost 20 pips. So you can see we lost 20 pounds or dollars on that trade. So I'm using $1 per pip or £1 per pip with this spreadsheet. So when I post it on Friday, on every Friday on the platform, you can understand this. I'm not doing 50p per pip. I'm just doing $1 per pip. It just makes my calculation simpler for me to do. And then of course, you remember, when was it? I think it was 2 days ago, we had 60 pips profit. And that's why, again, it's showing as £60 because I'm doing $1 or £1 per pip. So I just wanted to bring that up so that you don't get confused when you see the spreadsheets posted on the platform that, oh, this looks different. No. 3 or more points touched for market. Okay, yeah, for the market support, if you, to define the market as formed the support, it needs to be plus or minus 2 from the previous low. So yes, plus or minus 2 for the support of, for the market resistance, plus or minus 2. So it's plus or minus 2. So let's go to the platform itself. So you can see here that the current low now, if you put your cursor on this candlestick, the current low is 1.1801. Okay, so let's go to 1.1801. So what we're saying that for the market to form a support, if the market falls and it gets to around this point and goes back up, if the next low there, if it's within plus or minus 2 of this previous low, then you say it has formed a market support, and then you can probably trade below that support. And same with the resistance now. The high here is 1.1851. If the market goes up there, hits that high point and falls back down, and that high point is plus or minus 2 from this previous high point, then you say market resistance is formed. So that's for market support and resistance. I think we had a couple on the platform previously. You probably have to, probably very tough to find it because there are quite a lot of posting on the platform for Forex trading. But I think there was a time we had the market support or market resistance form that I shared on the platform, but God knows where it is. Because there's quite a lot of posting there on the platform. But yes, obviously if it happens again, we'll let you guys know. Any other questions?
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Samia.
Hi. I seem to still be having problems with, you know, my chart's not reading right. Like the pip figures don't give me the round either, you know, if it's 60 pip at £1 per pip, it should give me £60. It's still not giving me that. And I called IG and they really haven't been very helpful. So it's just kind of annoying.
I think that's a technical problem, unfortunately, and I think it's to do with the demo platform. I don't think you have that with a live platform.
Because I was told to like open another demo one, and it was the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's a technical problem. But I think when you open the live account, because like say I used the live, although now I use it, I didn't have that problem with the live account. Yeah. But yeah, it might just be a technical problem on the demo account. But okay. The good thing though is that it works both ways, if you know what I mean. Mm. So even if it's not showing as, instead of showing £1 per pip, it's showing like 60p instead.
Yeah.
But is working both ways. That means you're losing 60p per pip and making 60p per pip. You know what I mean? So it still
yeah.
works.
So yeah, it's not cap. Yeah. Well, it's just kind of annoying that, you know, when I see when I put in 50p per pip, I'm expecting to see 30 pounds as profit and 10 pounds as loss, or you know, stop loss and all that. But that's not what I'm getting. So it's just kind of doing my head in. And I call them, they are just very useless. They said they do not deal with, or they do not handle the MT4 platform, that they do not have access to, or something really annoying like that.
I think also it's because it's a demo account. So they're waiting for you to put money in there, and then they will take you seriously. But if you look at what Bumi said in the chat, she just confirmed what I said. That either it's just a demo, that she doesn't have that on the live account, just like I thought.
Okay.
Yes, I'm operating the live account, and again, I don't have that on the live account. Yes, I lost. I think I made 30 pounds. I think it was last week, but yes, I lost 10 pounds this week. But
so you're on the live account, Bumi.
Yes, I'm on the live account. And
well done, well done, well done, well done, well done.
It's because I thought I would have this problem, you know, on the live account. That's why I haven't even, you know, that's why I'm trying to like rectify it. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason. But okay, since you say it doesn't happen on the live. It's not.
No, it doesn't. And I was so glad that we didn't lose anything yesterday. You know, when we moved the when we moved the stop loss to our entry point. Yeah, to the opening. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this was what Randy was saying. Frankly, losing money is not fun. And I've decided to breathe in and just roll with the punches. So I'm rolling with the punches.
Okay. Oh, we have to hold on. We have to emphasize what Bubi has just said, which is I'm happy you mentioned that, Bubi, because that's what I keep telling people, is that until you start trading with real money, you're not trading.
Yeah.
Because once real money is on the line, that's when the anxiety comes in, your emotions come in. And the question now remains, can you control those emotions and stick to your plan? So like, I'm happy Bumi has testified that I told you it can be quite nerve-wracking.
You know something, I've actually, so I've lost, I've already lost 20 pounds.
Yes.
And made 60 pounds. So altogether, since I've started trading, so it's been 40 pounds.
Net profit.
Yes, net profit.
Yeah.
But I am always ever so glad when I move that stop loss. Not even when I make the money, when I move the stop loss to the entry on the money. Yes, I am not losing anything today. Not today. Yes.
Well done, Bumi. So you can say, welcome to trading. Now you're trading.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
You'll get better.
I hope so. I'm nursing wounds.
So you see, that is now you can see it's a big difference from demo trading.
Yes.
Well done, well done. Oh, good. Thanks for that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Okay.
Any questions before we call it a day? Any more questions?